Hey, good morning, everyone. We're having a great day so far. Hope you had a good weekend. What do I got now? I got a Ford Fusion hybrid. Got a check engine light. Now, I don't get to, well, I don't see a check engine light. They're complaining of a check engine light, though. So, it's a 2014 Fusion. So, I got my scanner hooked up. I didn't look at anything yet. Let's load it up and see what we got. Alright, so, the scanner. Okay, it'll self-populate. It'll identify itself. Alright, so we got 2014 Ford Fusion, 2-liter hybrid with 172,000 miles. Yep, that's correct. Let's do a code scan. See what we got. Well, the engine isn't running, but... All right, now the reason for the pre-scan and the post-scan, that's for insurance purposes. They do that when a car gets hit and it goes to a body shop. They want to know what codes are in it before the repairs, because a lot of times they can kind of determine, okay, hey, this code was probably set during the accident, or this code was probably there before the accident. You know, like if it has a CAT efficiency code and the thing was hit, it's not going to set a CAT efficiency code unless the person was driving it after the hit. You know, if that could cause the issue. Plus, they want to see in the future if a light comes on, like as soon as a body work is done. You know, they want to see, was it there beforehand. That'll help them determine, you know, was damage done from the accident or not. So, but anyway, that's the reason for pre and post scan. So let's see, we are at 60%, 62%. So let's let this go through and see what it got. I'm going to pause it for a little bit. This way you don't have to sit here and just watch the screen. All right, so it completed. Now, I've told you in the past, but the scanner, if it's still going and you try to scroll through, once it picks up another module, it'll bump you right back to the screen. So it's almost pointless to try to scroll through to see what's there. So we got O2 sensor, slow response, rich to lean, bank 1 sensor 2. It's not a current TTC. Now, what that means is the O2 sensor, after the catalytic converter, the computer sees that it's responding slowly, like it's doing its sweep slowly. And what that means is the O2 reads rich on one end, lean on the other. And basically, on any vehicle, the O2 sensor goes rich, lean, rich, lean. And what happens is, because the computer can never get it dead center. So what happens is it'll read rich, the computer will see it's rich, and say, hey, we got too much fuel going in, back off on the fuel. Then it'll go lean. And then it'll say, hey, we're too lean, add some fuel. Then it'll go rich. It's a constant cycle, back and forth, and it happens quickly. If you can look at an O2 sensor on a scope or something like that, it looks almost like a heartbeat, up and down, up and down, up and down. So now, this being bank 1 sensor 2, that's the O2 after the CAT. Usually, since it's sensor 2, it's because the upstream O2 has slowed down. It's responding slowly, and the downstream is responding slowly in accordance to the upstream. Basically, what the downstream is for is when the upstream is going up and down, the computer looks at what the downstream is doing, and that determines how well the catalytic converter is working. It wants to see a slowdown of the up-down movement, because its voltage goes high, voltage goes low. It wants to see a slow response of that. That means the catalytic converter is doing what it's supposed to do. And by slow response, it may not want to see any movement. Not any movement, but just slight movement. So basically what we're going to do here is I'm going to put it up in the air. I can just about guarantee you it's going to need an O2 sensor. In a situation like this, we're going to put 2 in there. With that kind of mileage on it, put O2s in it before you do anything else. There's no point in wasting your time diagnosing it with that kind of mileage, unless, of course, somebody put O2s in it. So let's get on the lift and see what we got. All right, so we're in the shop now, and I have the hood open, and I can see the O2 sensors from underneath the hood, but I'm going to still put it up in the air and just verify everything underneath there. But I just want to show you real quick. So here is the hybrid motor, and if you know nothing about these, anything that's in orange is high voltage. And as you can see, they got the high voltage labels there and stuff like that. Don't ever touch any of that stuff that's in orange if you know nothing about it. There is enough current in there to electrocute you, so just keep that in mind. So we're coming over to this side, and down here, I might need an extra light. Let's see. right there, that's the upstream O2, and down there is the downstream O2. You can just see it there. Now those both look original. So we're going to start by changing both of those. Like I said, considering the mileage in that, it's not worth wasting my time doing the diagnostics right now. Just throw O2 sensors in it. That's what I would do if it was my own car. That's what I would do if it's any customer's car. I'm going to throw O2s in it. And I can just about guarantee you it's going to fix it. Just from the years of experience I've had with doing this, it's almost always O2 sensors in a situation like this. Slow response, if it was the upstream O2 setting that code, it could be the O2, it could be something else. I would still put an O2 in it and then see what happens, and if it still sets it, then obviously we've got something else going on. So, but since it's the downstream, I'm just about 100% confident that's what it's going to be. So, okay, let's put it up in the air. Let's see what we got underneath. Underneath this thing, there's really not a lot to see. Everything's covered up by shields and whatnot. And yeah, that is the only O2 for the downstream right there. I just wanted to make sure, because I have seen double O2 sensors on upstream or downstream. Usually depends on if it's got separate banks, but you never know. They could split the pipe internally. So I just wanted to make sure. Let's see. I know you guys may think that sounds weird, splitting the pipe internally, but doing this stuff for your entire life, sometimes you see some weird stuff. See, that's got electric brake, parking brake in the back. So really nothing special to see. You know, a hybrid is really not much more than a regular vehicle. It really isn't. You know, some people get scared of them. I'm not scared of a hybrid. You know, I don't work on hybrid systems, but I work on the rest of the car. The rest of the car is the same as any other car. So there's really, as long as you're cautious with, like I said, the orange wires and stuff like that, you're fine. So let me order up a pair of O2s for this thing, and we'll get those put in. All right, so I got my O2 sensors for the Ford Fusion here. And you can see the one is right there. I took the shield off that goes underneath here just to gain access, because this one I'm going to have to crack free from underneath here. The other one, which is up there, I'm going to do that from underneath the hood. It's a little tight the way the hybrid has the air filter set up, but I should be able to get it. So I'm going to take those out. I don't think there's anything specific that I need to show you. If I run into a problem, then I'll film that, but let me get them changed out. I got both the O2s out. There was really nothing extravagant about pulling them out. It really took not too much effort. This is the downstream right there. That's the upstream. Here's the new ones. They give you a little bit of anti-seize, and you just want to put like a dab on there. See that? Just a little dab. You don't have to go nuts. You don't have to slather the whole thing in anti-seize. It's not necessary. It'll get mushed around in the threads and spread around. So let me get these things installed. It's kind of weird. The upstream O2, this is a very Volkswagen looking O2 sensor. This is or an air fuel ratio sensor is what they might be referred to as. But anyway, this is just like a Volkswagen, same type of connector and everything. But whatever, doesn't matter to me. I'm going to get these installed, and whenever you do O2 sensors, if you're getting aftermarket, make sure you use a top quality unit. I've seen faulty or cheap O2s, I should say. I've seen cheap and expensive O2s cause misfires and all sorts of running problems, poor fuel economy, you name it. Never go for cheap O2 sensors, ever. It'll bite you in the end. So let me get these installed. It really won't take much to get them in there. When they're both in, they're routed. I got the harness going right where it's supposed to. It's clipped in. Make sure whenever you're putting in O2 sensors, you verify that you're not hitting exhaust pipes with the wiring. You're not going to catch like a drive shaft or anything like that. Just make sure of that. Basically, if you route it the same way it was, you won't have a problem. All right, so let me put the lower cover in, which is that. You can see somebody nicely modified it. So somebody with a lot of skill did that. I don't know why people do that, but they do. All right, let me get the covers on, and then we're going to make sure I cleared the codes, and we're going to take it for a road test. So I got it off the lift, and now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the scanner and just clear the codes. I'm not even going to bother checking them because I already know what they are. So here I already got it hooked up, codes menu. I got the car running. Clear codes. Okay, it'll clear all the freeze frame data, I know that. Clear codes on or running. And codes are cleared. So now let's just go back to pending codes. Nothing. Make sure the other code's cleared out. Nothing. Okay. Alright, let's go for a road test. We're back from the road test. Let's see. Let's go to pending codes and see what we got. Here we go. No codes present. Okay, so I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. Alright, so that's it for this one. Like I said, a lot of times when you get a higher mileage vehicle, you get O2 failures, then I wind up replacing both O2 sensors, or even sometimes 4 O2 sensors. You know, it's my recommendation. You know, you got nearly 200,000 miles on a car and you got one O2 that's going bad. The next one's going to follow. It always happens. Never fails. You got a vehicle that's got 4 of them, it's going to be one, then another, then another, then another. And I always recommend, let's do it right now. You know, get it over with. You know, why do you want to pay diagnostic time again and again and again? And then, you know, the labor time, it's cheaper to just do it right now. Yes, you're going to be spending more money in one shot over just changing one sensor, but, you know, like in the long run, it's actually cheaper. So let me do them all at the same time. So it's what I always recommend. I very rarely get somebody that ever fights me on it. They usually go with what I tell them. So, but anyway, that's it. So hopefully you're getting something out of my videos. If you do, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys, have a great day. Keep wrenching.